DreAllDay.com.
But today I want to talk about service. And if you follow my snap, you might know a little bit of this story. You might not have seen the snap. But anyway, what happened was I took this Uber. I was in Las Vegas the last 4 days speaking at this event called the Freedom Fest. And I took this Uber leaving the hotel when I was about to go to the airport to fly back to Miami. So I walk up to the car, the Uber driver, and he's sitting in it. I'm walking towards the front of the car. So he's pulled up on a corner. I'm walking towards the front of the car, and I got two bags, like the two bags that you would use to check in at the airport. Two bags, I'm rolling suitcases with me. He sees me, and he doesn't even get out the car. He just pops the trunk. He don't even roll the window down or nothing. He just pops the trunk. So I can put my bags in the trunk. So then I get in the car, and I'm like, dude, you don't get out the car to help people put their bags in the trunk? He was like, nah, not really. And I was like, since when you don't do that? He was like, well, we're not supposed to do that. Well, I didn't argue with the guy. I just let him drive me to the airport. But I do know that when I came to Las Vegas, both when I left my house and when I got out at the airport, I took Ubers. Both of those drivers helped me with the bags. And then when I came home, not the airport in Vegas, but when I got to the airport in Miami, that driver helped me with the bags. So maybe all three of those drivers was wrong and this one guy was right. But it's not really important to him personally. What I want to talk about is just the service. And what y'all got to understand is that every business you in is in a service business. Because all y'all heard of customer service. So even if you work at the grocery store, that's service. If you own your own business, that's service. Like this right here, if I was a coach or a consultant to you, that's a service business. Every business is a service business. What you have to understand is that when you do the bare minimum, people are not stupid. It's the first thing you got to understand. If you giving service to another person and you give them a bare minimum effort, people are not dumb. They know when you giving them the bare minimum. And even if you think you getting over because you like figure that Uber driver's position, he's like, all right, well, this dude already booked the ride. I'm already here. So if he don't take this car, I'm still going to get paid and I'm still going to get charged. And me, the rider, he's still going to get charged the fee. So I guess he was thinking, all right, I already got the money anyway, so it don't matter if this dude is not happy with my service. That was his mindset. But what you got to understand, I'm going to explain to you why that's not a good mindset to have. When you're in that type of business, understand that services business work off of referrals. That's how you get more business. You can get tips. That's money that goes directly to your bottom line. And it's just goodwill with your customers, because if you give bad service to your customer, like if you go to a restaurant or a barbershop and the service is bad, you're not going to go back to that business, and you're probably going to tell somebody else how bad the business was, which means more than one person will never spend money at that business again because of your bad service. So it's not just that one person that you affected. It's not just that one situation. It has a ripple effect. So the first point is people know when you're giving a not full effort. Right? People are not stupid. Here's the number 2 point. Number 2 point is that since the service business is, and if it's your work, like you drive Uber or you got a job, you run a business, that's how you spend a third of your life, right? We spend a third of our lives sleeping, roughly. We spend a third of our lives working, and then we spend another third doing what we want to do, for the most part, generally speaking. So if you spend a third of your half of your waking life giving a half-ass effort at work, that's probably how you spend that other third where you could do whatever you want. You probably do the same thing. So all y'all familiar with the saying, how you do anything is how you do everything, right? So people who give a half-ass effort at work, they probably give a half-ass effort at the gym. They half-ass with their friends. They half-ass with their relationships. They half-ass with every other thing that they do in life. Half-ass with their goals. How you do anything is how you do everything. And people are always observing you. Even when you don't think they're observing you. It's people observing me right now who might be thinking about, I might want to do some business with Dre. I might want to buy something that Dre's selling. They're observing how I'm conducting myself. And if you give a half-ass effort in anything, there's somebody noticing that you don't even know is noticing it, and it might be costing you an opportunity. So how you do anything is how you do everything. That's point number 2. And point number 3 is this. You cannot get without giving. And when you're in a business and you give the bare minimum, or anything you do, and you give the bare minimum, you're not going to get many results. Like if you out of shape, let's say you were fat and you way overweight, and you go to the gym, you join the gym because you want to get in shape, and you give a bare minimum effort, are you going to get into good shape? Probably not. If you start a business and it's 10 other companies doing the same thing your company's doing, but you're giving a bare minimum effort at your business because you think the customers is going to come because you're there, how long are you going to stay in business? Probably not too long. So when you try to get without giving from the universe, from other people, from your business, from your relationships, anything you do, it's going to treat you the same way. And I've talked about this multiple times, but I'm going to keep talking about it because people got to get it. You got to tell people things more than once for them to get it. So that's why sometimes I make a point and use that same point more than one time through different stories, is that when you are cheap with other people, when you're cheap with your effort, when you're cheap with your time, when you're cheap with your service, other people are going to be the exact same way with you. If you be bullshitting your customers on service, eventually those customers will stop coming. And then the word is going to get around, especially in the world we in today. 2016, if you ever took an Uber or a Lyft, what happens as soon as the ride's over? The little screen pops up like, give a rating to your driver, right? You can rate the person, so if I suck, everybody's immediately going to know. What about when you go to a restaurant? What they got? They got Yelp, right? So if the restaurant sucks and the service is bad, what's the first thing I'm going to do as soon as I leave the restaurant? I'm going to leave a rating. So if the restaurant sucked and the service is bad, everybody's going to know about it. So, and we got social media, we can tweet about it, we can Facebook about it. So when you give shitty service in 2016, it doesn't just get buried under a rug. Everybody can find out about it on a literal level. But even more important than that, on a higher level than that, again, when you put out the energy of nickel and diamond and not giving your full effort and not really giving service to people, that energy is going to come back to you even if you think you got away with it. Like that driver, he might think he got away with it, but he didn't really get away with it. But if you have that mentality, like, all right, I got by, I already got it, I'm done, I don't have to give any more service, then I'm going to just do my job. Like, you ever go to a business and you ask somebody for help, or they're helping you, but they're not really giving much effort, and you like, yo, like, you going to give some effort, you going to do this, you going to help me out with this, and they like, well, that's not my job, or I'm just doing my job, or maybe some of you have even said that before. Or maybe you work with somebody who said that. They're like, well, that's not my job to do that. I'm just doing my job. Well, my job is to do this, and I did it. You ever had somebody think like that? Like, my job is to do this, so I'm going to just do this. I'm not going to do any more than this. I'm not doing any less. I'm not doing any different. I'm going to just do exactly what my job is. When you have that mentality, you're not going to get far in life, period. Because, again, how you do anything is how you're going to do everything. No, Yelp does not take off bad reviews if you pay them. That's not true. I'm a Yelp elite, so I know for a fact that that's not true. But anyway, the bottom line is this. When you give a half-ass effort in one thing, you're doing it everywhere else too. You can't just turn it on and off like a light switch. So if I can take questions, I'll take any questions if anybody got any. My name is DreAllDay, for those who don't know me. Professional speaker, professional athlete, TED talker, YouTuber, author, coach, consultant, podcaster, blogger. What else? Periscoper, live streamer, Snapchatter. Why do black people think we want to watch them go to church? I don't know what black people you're talking about. I'm black, so you're not talking about, I think you're generalizing. I appreciate it. Can I take any questions? Anybody got a question? I will take a couple, and then I'm wrapping this one up. My podcast is called Work on Your Game. If you listen to podcasts, we do that every single day. Work on your game. You supposed to go to church? Who? You or me? Have I looked at the Periscope map? What about it? Who am I looking for? I only look at a map if I'm looking for something. Us? No, I don't agree with that. You can't tell anybody else what they're supposed to do. You can only speak for yourself. All people at church. Can I take any other questions? Going once, going twice. My Snapchat is at Dre Baldwin. You want to get in touch with me, you can snap me or you can email me. My email, Dre@DreAllDay.com. Actually, go to my website, DreAllDay.com, and I want my help page. That's where I got all the places you get information from me. Pokemon game, I downloaded the app and I looked at it for like 3 minutes just to see what it was about, but I definitely won't be playing it. All right, everybody, have a great day. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. If you're on Snapchat, hit me on the Snap. My Snap name is at Dre Baldwin. You already know how that works. And I got a podcast, if you didn't know. It is called Work on Your Game. It is an everyday podcast where I talk about getting yourself into the right mindset, that bulletproof mindset. Getting yourself seen, heard, known. Getting the exposure you want and making things happen in your life instead of waiting for things to happen to or for you. Subscribe to that podcast. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Make sure you check it every single day. Make sure you're subscribed so you catch the heat. Work on your game. Dre Ball, Dre Ball, Dre Ball. I feel like Dre Ball, Dre Ball, Dre Ball. I feel like Dre Ball, Dre Ball. I'm ballin'. I feel like Dre.